Cloud Code was already one of the best ways to vibe code your application, but now it's got even easier with the release of Cloud Code Web. So now everything you had to do on your computer, you can actually do on the web, which means you can even do it on your smartphone, which means now you have a cheaper way than using something like Lovable, where you have to pay depending on your usage, and here you have a subscription, and you also don't have to install anything like Cursor because you can do everything on the web. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can take advantage of this and build a simple habit tracker and put it live. So let's just start. Welcome. Today I'm going to be showing how you can vibe code this app, which is a simple habit tracker where you can go, you can add an habit, say read, and description, select the color, create an habit, and then you can check the habits when it's done for the days. You can delete habits and all of this in the user area. So you're going to be able to do something like this by the end of the video. And to do this, I'm going to show you the tools you need. So what we're going to build to actually use the code is Cloud Code. This will do the code for us. You'll need to have at least a plan in order to use the web tool. This way you don't have to install anything locally. So it's like $20 a month. You just go with a monthly. And we'll get back to this. Next, you need a GitHub account. This is where your code lives. It allows you to have versions, and it's what's used to actually put your code live. So you'll need to create an account. And lastly, you'll also need to create a Laravel Cloud account. So the first step you need to do is actually create the GitHub and go to this web page, which I'll leave the link in the description. And you can click on use this template and create a new repository. And you can call it whatever you like. I'm going to call it demo tracker. Let's change this to be private. And then we just hit create repository and this will be created. Let's give it a few seconds. Okay, so now I have a repository. The next thing we need to do is go to Laravel Cloud. And you have to sign up if you don't have an account. I have, so I'll just sign in. And then you have to create new application. And if you don't see something like this, you can see where I just created here. You can just add a Git account and use GitHub to log in. And then you'll do this, you'll be able to access your GitHub pages. So you can see the page I just created here. So let's just click this. You can choose a name for the application and a region. I'll just leave it as is. And create on create application. Click on create application. Then we just wait a bit. And it will start creating our empty application. The next thing we want to do is add a database. We'll click here, database, and we'll just create a database cluster. And you again can just click this, because we're just testing, and leave everything else as is. This will be your server, so there will be some costs, but you can do it very cheaply just to try it. And you do this, you save, and then you can save and deploy or just save. I'm just going to save. So you have an app cluster, you have a database. The next step is to deploy. What we're doing is taking the code, which you have because you copied that page I showed you, and you're actually putting it live, even though it's empty on the inside. So if you wait a bit, we will be able to access the page. Let's give it a minute. You can see on the deployments tab that is stuff happening, so let's just wait. You can see now it says it's deploying, so it all seems to be going well. Now you can see it's green, which means it's deployed. So now if I go back to the environment and I click this link, it will open our app. As you can see, for now it's just something saying Laravel, which is the technology we are using. And if we click login, you'll see that we have a login and the register area. So we won't be able to log in yet because we don't have an user. Let's create one. And let's create this account. And here we go. And here we go. It just logged in, it's empty, and this is where we'll be building our app. So now that we have our app now that is live, the next step is to actually go to Cloud Code. So I already have an account. I go back to this page and click here, open on the web, and it will open a new Cloud Code page for us. So what we need to do is click here and select the repository we just created. So if I start writing, you can see I just created this. Again, this is the same name as the one I gave it. And then we can actually ask Cloud Code to do something. So I'll just copy and paste and I'll say this is my repository. I want you to create a habit tracking application that has squares that the user can check each day and add or remove habits. And we'll just send this message. And now Cloud will start actually doing stuff. This can take a bit, so yeah, just give it some minutes and it will eventually finish. Okay, so it has finished and we can see that we have something that say all changes have been committed and pushed to the cloud, create habit tracker, and then a bunch of numbers and text branch. So what this means is we have our main code, which is sort of in a folder, and now there's another folder that has the updated version of the code. So what we need to do next is go back to Laravel Cloud, click on the settings, and you can see here Git branch, and we want to change this to use the branch, the folder that Cloud just created. So click this and we'll hit save and deploy. And we see that we go back to the deployment page, and now we have to wait for a bit to see if there were any errors. Okay, so now we can see that it has finished. So if we refresh this page, we can see that we now have the habit tracker, and I'll click add your first habit. And again, I'll do read, for example. Click on read, create habit, and you can see that it's different than before, but you have again an habit tracker. So this is the basic workaround. You can see, for example, if I click, nothing happens. So what would we do if there was a problem? And we just take that, go back to Cloud Code and say, I can create habits. So it says something like this: I can create habits, but I cannot check them. Nothing happens when I click, and we'll send. And then again, we'll just wait a bit. As you can see, it's troubleshooting. It has found some mistake, and now it's updating so that that mistake doesn't happen again, and you just have to wait until it's fixed. So we can see once again that it's fixed, and here again you can see that it was sent to that branch, to that folder. Now if you go to Laravel Cloud and we go to deployments, it should automatically be deploying, as you can see just now, because we just need to enter the branch once and it will do everything on its own from then on. So if we just wait a bit, we'll see it's deployed. Okay, so now it's deployed. You can go to our dashboard. Let's refresh. You can see that now the ones we are marking are actually showed as marked, and the ones are not showing. One more thing, let's add a statistics page. So let's go and write the following. So let's just say create a statistic page for the habits, and let's send and wait for a minute again. So once again, we can see that it's done and it has saved the changes and committed them, which just means send to the branch. If we go back to Laravel Cloud, we can see that it's again deploying. So let's just give it a minute. And now that it's done, if you go to our page and refresh, we should see a new statistics page, as you can see. And if I click, you can see something is weird. So the page seems to be there, but it's duplicating it. So let's again give it and tell Cloud Code what's happening. So go here. If we have an error, do this. So we just say something like this: the page is weird. It seems to be duplicating the page inside itself, which is sort of what's happening. You can see that the page is here and here again. So we just say something like this. And then if we go back to it and we just send, start fixing it. Okay, once again, it's done and we can see it's again pushing to the branch. So if you go to Laravel Cloud, it should be deploying again. Here it is. So just wait a minute again. It's deployed. So now if you go to the tracker and refresh the page, you can see that now it's done. We have our statistics. And so there it is. So this is it. This is how you can take an idea and just use Cloud Code and generate an actual product that you can use and send to other people. So if you like this, I will be posting more content like this on this YouTube, and you can join our Skool community for questions or help if you have any problem. Thanks for watching.